It blew the sensor out. That's where it was leaking. Welcome to the Hillbilly RV channel. Today we're going to be changing this flow meter in this Suburban Tankless water heater. Now we're on the shady side of the camper and I don't really have a good way to light this thing, as in shine light in there so you can see what we're doing. But we're going to change this flow valve, and I'm hoping that we can take a few screws out here, remove maybe the panel that the control board's mounted to, and just get it out of the way enough to where we can reach in there and change this thing. So let me go grab some tools and we'll get started. I forgot to mention the reason we're doing this repair is this water heater froze and broke that little plastic flow meter. I'm only doing this because there's a couple screws down there that just make it a lot easier to get to. Yeah, I could use a 90-degree screwdriver and get down. No, and get to them, but take them 4 screws out. Oh, are those rivets? No, they're screws. Just a little rusted. So now, hopefully we can get this piece of metal out of the way. Well, let's see if this is going to work. Cut one zip tie in here. That will make life a little bit easier, I do believe. Well, it didn't help much, but it did help a little. I did accidentally unplug a wire, so we need to remember to plug that back in. But yeah, I think this is doable now. I gotta reach in there and cut one more zip tie, but I'm gonna go get some side cutters because it's a little farther back in there. Y'all can probably see pretty good, I hope. Oh yeah, it's better than it was. Okay, so I'm going to unplug the wiring harness off the froze one, broken one. All right, so there's a 15/16 nut back in there that we need to loosen up. Holds the flow meter to the copper box, or all the copper piping in here. It shouldn't be tight. Okay, I think I'm gonna reach in there with a pair of pliers maybe and just turn the flow valve. Still not a ton of room in here. If all that wiring was on the other side, we'd have more room. So I basically just held the valve with the pliers and then turned the nut. The water's off, right? Yeah. Well, we've got the water heater bypassed, so it doesn't matter. So we'll loosen that nut, and we can easily spin that valve around, because I'll show you why here in just a second. I ain't got a pick, and I'll, like I said, I'll show you why here in just a second. I got it moving. Now I can get my screwdriver in there. That little clippy thingy is what holds the other side of that flow meter. So it's like a quick connect. Yeah, she come out in pieces even. There's our O-ring for the top of it, where the nut's at, so we gotta save that. Here's our old flow meter. It came apart in pieces. And there's that little clippy thingy that goes. There's a O-ring on the other pipe that goes down in here, and then this clip goes through and holds it all together. See? So you got to pull that retainer out, and then it just comes off. So yeah, none of these pieces should stay in there. Oh, it blew the sensor out. That's where it was leaking. The sensor's kind of like glued in the, can y'all may not be able to see that, but it blew the sensor out. That's why it was leaking. Now Suburban, I'm pretty sure Suburban is one of those tankless water heater companies that say they don't want antifreeze, RV antifreeze in their water heater. And I say that only because, I don't know that, but I say that because the coach manufacturer provided us with bypass valves on the back of this water heater. So that just tells me that they don't really want antifreeze in this water heater. But you can't winterize this thing. Yeah, they put a pop-off valve down here at the bottom. What they want you to do is drain the water heater by opening that pop-off valve and letting the water out. Okay? The problem with that, huge problem with that. Have you ever been playing with your drink and a straw at the restaurant, and you put your straw down, you drink, you put your finger over the top of the straw, pull the straw out, nothing comes out, right? Until you move your finger, provide a vent, then the liquid will come out of your straw. This is no different. There's no way to vent, you can't take your finger off the top. There's no way to vent it. So you can open that pop-off valve, but the water's not going to come out. So I'm probably going to end up winterizing this one this fall, and what we're going to do is just we're going to run antifreeze through this thing just like all the other water lines, and then when we get done, we'll open the pop-off valve, and if any antifreeze comes out, that's awesome. If it stays in there, it's just going to have to stay in there, because this little plastic valve just can't be frozen. It's not going to take it. So let me go ahead and get this thing positioned in here. Go ahead and get it on the O-ring at the bottom. Like so. I am going to go ahead and put our gasket on the top and go ahead and get that nut started. Just making sure that that O-ring or that gasket stays in place. Alright, everything's started. So let me get my new clippy thing in. There it is. The old one was even bent. It had put so much pressure on it, it actually bent the clip. So let me make sure it's down good, and go ahead and slide the clippy thing in, and you can kind of tug on it a little bit, and you can tell that it is clipped in. There's actually a little retainer clip that it goes, so it should snap a little bit here. There we go. Now let's get our nut tight on the top, and it does have a rubber gasket, so it's only got to be snug, and then we'll put the water to it and make sure we don't have any leaks. If we got a leak, we'll snug that up just a tad more, but it probably won't leak. Okay, it is snugged. I'll go ahead and plug the new flow sensor in. Okay, now we've had this bypassed since last week when I came out and saw what was wrong and ordered a part. So let me go in and we will change the bypass valves to put water in the water heater, and then we'll hook the water up. See how it goes. Alright, so we have the water on. Now I spilled some water in there when I took the old valve off, so let me get a rag, dry that up so we can tell if we have any new water. Yeah, kids never pay for meals, and they never put gas in a car.
Of course, he knows better. He's 47 years old.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, everything looks good. I'm gonna have to spin that board around there and hook that last wire up. That's just too short to plug in without.
You want me to
turn everything around there? Just a second. I'll get this one wire plugged in here. There you go. Boy, she is a shorty. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go in and run some water. Turn the water heater on. I think we'll be all right without that ground wire. Yeah, I'll just stick it right there. It'll sort the ground. And y'all hang out here and you hear if it lights. Oh, this switch was off. Why didn't y'all turn that on for me? So what happened down here? We got an error code inside. So not sure. All right, well, let me hook this one wire up, this ground wire. Can't imagine that would be an issue, but who knows? All right, let's try it again. Customer's gonna go run some water while I stay out here with y'all. There she lit. Had a little air in the gas line, I guess. Let me go in and see if the water's hot.
She said, you can't tell me a $50,000 RV like that you can't get hot water running in it. She said, we had them old ones for years and years and years, and they always worked just fine.
Yeah.
I said, well, that was back when they built stuff to last.
Yep. Well, all right, folks. We got nice hot water in the coach. That's gonna make the customer happy. He's gonna pay me when I'm done. That'll make me happy. Y'all get to watch this video. That'll make y'all happy. Everybody's happy. So since you're so happy, get down in that comment section. Leave me a comment, a criticism, a concern. I'm gonna put the last few screws in this thing and I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a great day and we will catch you next time.